Welcome to today's lecture, student. Greetings. So, in today's lecture, we will be dealing about your passive transducers. So, already we have seen about your active transducers. So, in this, we will be dealing with your passive transducers. So, in this passive transducers, first you will be dealing with your resistive transducers. Okay. So, the resistive transducers will operate based upon your resistance change. Okay. So this resistance change will be directly proportional to your some physical phenomena. This is the main principle involving your resistive transducer. So due to the change in the physical phenomena, what happens? The resistivity or the resistance value gets changed. So the resistance of a metal conductor will be generally expressed by this equation. This you might already studied. So R equal to rho L by A. So here Rs is the resistance expressed in ohm. L is the length of the conductor in meter. So rho is nothing but your resistivity expressed in ohm meter. So A is the cross sectional area. So this is the governing equation that involves your resistance change. So here itself there is two physical quantities that you have to check it out. So first starting with your first physical quantity is your length. Length is your first physical quantity followed by your area. Area is your second physical quantity. So based upon these two physical quantity itself, your resistance value gets changed. So resistive transducers are generally of four types. Even this is in the market. First, starting with your potentiometer. So you know about your potentiometer. This potentiometer is the main thing which should be used in the circuits. Then strain gauge, thermistors. So these two thermistor and thermometer will be based upon your temperature physical quantity. Okay, the physical quantity used over here is temperature. So starting the potentiometer, so potentiometer are used for voltage division. So the voltage drop can be varied out within the uh, wide range. Okay, so here you can see from A to B, see a range. This is a potentiometer circuit. So one point will be your minimum point and one point will be your maximum point. So this is your movable part. Okay, other sliding contact. So based upon this movable part, the resistance gets varied from minimum value to your maximum value. So this is the basic principle involving in your potentiometer. So they are also called slide contact called as wiper. So the slide contact has many names. The contact motion may be either linear or rotational. So here this is corresponds to a linear motion, and over here this corresponds to your rotatory motion. Okay, so here you can clearly see this in circular pattern. So we will be rotating this. So we will be rotating this. The combination potentiometer have the resistance elements in helix form. Okay, will be in the helix form and are called as helipods. Okay. Strain gauge. Okay, strain gauge is a passive resistive transducer that converts the mechanical elongation. So here the physical quantity over here is here nothing but the elongation. That is the length you can take. Converts the mechanical elongation and compression into the resistance change. Here you can see based upon the that is the elongation means you can also take the pressure to be a physical quantity. Based upon the pressure, the elongation gets compressed or it gets elongated. The material gets compressed or elongated. So based upon this length, the resistance gets varied. Here they have given clearly the change in resistance takes place due to the variation in length and cross section area. Okay. Moving on, the types of strain gauge. The type of strain gauge are wire gauge, unbounded, bounded, foil type. Then second one is your semiconductor gauge. Next is your resistance thermometer. So over here, the resistance of the metal increases with increase in temperature. So the resistance will be directly proportional to the temperature. So therefore, metals are said to have a positive temperature coefficient of resistivity. This is a basic physical concept. So the simplest type of open wire construction of platinum here they have taken out. This is a thermometer. The platinum wire is wound the form of spirals of an insulating material such as mica or ceramic. So here you can see. So the resistance of the platinum wire changes with the change in temperature. So the metal will be just wound, okay, in between your insulator. So here you can clearly see this is your insulator part, and these are your connection to the leads, and this is your resistance thermometer. So this type of sensor have a positive temperature coefficient or resistivity. All the metals will be having a positive temperature coefficient. Okay. So due to the variation in the temperature, the resistance value gets differs. So you can easily find out the change in temperature also. Coming to the thermistor, uh, thermistor, thermal resistor both are nearly same, but over here the thermistor is a contraction of a term thermal resistor. So thermistor depends also depends upon the temperature dependent resistors. They are made up of semiconductor material which have a negative temperature coefficient. So over here the material is will be having a negative temperature coefficient, that is the resistance decreases with increase in temperature. So it is inversely proportional. So resistance will be inversely proportional to temperature in this case, but in the thermal resistor it will be different. Okay, it will be the vice versa. Okay. Thermistor are widely used in application which involve the measurement range of 0 to 60 degree. Thermistors are composed of materials like metal oxides, manganese. So it is like an alloy, combination of more than one element. So here you can see the heating source. So if it is heated means the variation will be caused in the thermistor. So the current flowing through this circuit will also vary. And this is detected by a very minute microscopic ammeter. So thermistor may be in the form of beads, rods, or discs. They are just like a sensors. Okay, thermistors provide a large change in resistance for small change in temperature. So here an example is given. In some cases, the resistance of a thermistor at a room temperature may decrease 6% for each degree C. So if it is coming from 25 degrees C to 26 degrees C itself, your resistance value gets dropped. Next, coming to thermocouples. So this thermocouple is based upon the Seebeck effect. So you might have already know about Seebeck effect. So you'll be taking two metals. Two metals you'll be taking of different materials, and you will be connecting it together. Okay, so you'll be connecting it together. What happens is that due to the change in the temperature in the two metals, there will be a potential drop. So when a pair of dissimilar metals are joined at one end, and there's a temperature difference between the joined ends and the open ends, thermal EMF is generated. So this is a basic principle of thermocouples. So this is lecture is getting over. Thank you.